Hello and welcome, everybody. This is Clint with the Mark Travel Corporation giving a contracted group webinar. Today we're going to look into contracted groups with the Mark Travel Corporation and the group's dashboard and everything that goes into that. If at any point you have questions during this presentation, please make sure that you reach out to me via chat or through the Q&A section. All right, here we go. Without further ado, we have Contracted Groups webinar. I'm signed into Bax Vacation Access, and from the supplier section, you can see all four of our Mark Travel brands. You can either click on FunJet Vacations, Blue Sky Tours, Southwest Vacations, or United, and it's going to take you into that anchor store, the store on Bax where our suppliers are going to show you the best of the best, the great promotions and deals that's going on in that section. Now, today we're going to be focusing specifically on FunJet with groups, but keep in mind we have two different groups programs. We're only talking about contracted today, but we have Groups Your Way as well as contracted groups. With FunJet Vacations, we have both of those programs provided through that brand. With Blue Sky Tours, we only have contracted groups. Southwest Vacations does not yet have a groups program, and United Vacations only does Groups Your Way. All right, so I'll say that again. FunJet has both programs. Blue Sky only does contracted, which is what we're going to be talking about today. United only does Groups Your Way, and Southwest does not yet have a groups program. So clicking on FunJet Vacations, where do you learn about groups? Where's all the information? Well, from the yellow toolbar, if I scroll all the way over to where it says Travel Info, there's a section that says Group Travel. You can specifically click on contracted groups, but I'm going to click on the generic group travel link first because we have a great new anchor page. It looks really great. It has our fantastic group symbol and also our logo that talks all about the great things that are going on with groups. Now, right away, if you need to request a group quote, hit this big yellow button up at the top. You can't miss it. That is where you are going to click to fill out all the information, and we'll do that in just a minute. Scrolling down below, it talks a little bit about the history of our groups program, some of the great benefits, and one thing I just want to mention, two things. The average group commission is about $5,000. So groups are very lucrative for you. You can make a lot of money off of groups and provide great just experiences for your clients that they could not have on an individual booking. Going down, we also, the second option, or second thing that I wanted to mention is we have the best technology in the industry for booking groups. It's called the dashboard. And the dashboard, we're going to go into all the benefits of using that a little bit later. But you can manage each one of your reservations in the same place as you book the group with a contract. Scrolling down below, here's where you're going to decide your path. Now, on another day, you may join a webinar and I may talk a little bit about the Groups Your Way program. That's not our focus on today's webinar, but keep in mind, Groups Your Way is a flexible option where your clients will get a special promo code that'll take a discount off your reservation. Contracted groups, though, is our focus. So, for a contracted group, you need a minimum of 10 rooms. The reason we say 10 is because that's what the hotel and you are going to agree upon when you sign that contract. Really, you're going to want to have at least 12 or 13 because, as we know, clients will inevitably have somebody that won't be able to go, and you don't want a client to cancel and have you go below that 10-room minimum that you have signed on your contract. That would be considered breaking the contract, and we want to prevent that. So give yourself a little buffer room and do a little bit more than the 10-room minimum required for a contracted group. We're going to click on Learn More about contracted groups. And I'm going to scroll down this page. Contracted groups are, like I said, lucrative. They're easy to make. We have a resource center on this page that looks fantastic and gives you everything you need to know about booking with contracted groups. We have a section about booking groups airfare. I'm going to talk to you about the 3 different options you have for adding airfare to a contract that you've contracted the hotel rates, and now you have to figure out how am I going to get air for my clients. We have a step-by-step instruction booklet that you can look at right here online that'll tell you exactly how to start your group, how to start making reservations on your dashboard. It's easy, and it's so cool because it's all right here. There's some enhancements that we're making to our groups dashboard. Check those out. It's telling you what's up and coming with groups. We also have information on room attrition, how to request a quote, which I'm going to show you that process a little bit later today. The name requirement basics that come with booking clients' reservations, and then a template for a room listing. Okay, so come here, check all this out on your own time. But what I want to focus on is, how do I request a group? Well, first, I would scroll all the way up top here and click on Request a Group Quote. I'm going to be filling out information on that flyer or on that file, and we'll be sending that over to the groups team where it says Submit after we've filled out that information. And that is specifically to contract the hotel. You also have several options to contract air, and you can see where it says Booking Groups Airfare. We're going to talk about those three options right now. Now, I'm not going to read all these paragraphs verbatim. That would be boring, and you wouldn't want to stay with me. You'd probably hop off the line and be like, wow, that was the worst webinar ever. But here's the deal. Three different options. Number one, you can contract charter value air. Charter air is where we buy out, as a company, all the seats on an airplane. You're going to get higher commission, and these are only from airports in select cities with select flights. These flights are nonstop, and they are going to be a great option for your client and a good option for you because you're going to receive commission on those flights. Your clients will pay the same amount. They'll be traveling together on the same plane, probably right next to each other. And that is from one of our charter origins. Now, there's a second option for contracting air, and that option is contracting published scheduled air. This is the same air that your client could go on the airline's website. They could call them up and purchase that airfare themselves. In the past, if you were to contract scheduled published air, you would have to call the airline and say, hey, I would like 20 people, seats for 20 people on this airplane. I want them all to have the same contracted price, and I want them sitting next to each other. The problem is you did not receive any commission, and that is the same deal if you contract scheduled published air with us. There is no commission that is received when we take this route. And you might be like, well, then why would I ever do that route? Well, sometimes your clients insist on having that same contracted air price, flying out of the same airport, going to the same destination, and they want to all be together. In that case, that is the only option because they're not flexible. There is a third option, though, if they are flexible and they're okay maybe not being on the same flight or paying the same price for the flight, and that is to add on air individually as you begin to make your reservations within your group's dashboard. Really, the great thing about this is that you're still going to earn what you would normally earn with commission on the air portion of your reservations when you book individual reservations within FunJet. That would be 5% on all published air with Delta, American, and JetBlue, 5% on any air that is bulk fare. Bulk fare is just air where the airline has given us usually a reduced price, less severe cancellation penalties, because they know we're putting that airfare with a hotel and a car potentially. And then you also receive up to 15% on charter value air that you book individually. So this is the option that I would tell people to do if their clients are not leaving from a charter origin and they don't have enough people to contract those charter flights. That's what I would do. So option number one, contract charter air. Option number two, contract published scheduled air. Option number three, add that air on individually and earn what you would normally earn on the air portion of your reservation. Cool, fantastic. All right, here we go. We're going back to the contracted groups page, and we are going to request a group quote. Clicking on that button, you're going to be taken to a screen where you need to select, do I want a traditional contracted group or a groups your way? Since today we are focused on the contracted group, we're going to go with the traditional groups, which is the contract option. And you're going to fill out all the information. What is the group name? What is the origin? Where are your clients going? Where are they coming back from? How long are they going on their trip? That information will be down here during the departure date information that you'll fill out. Tell us the occasion. Are they going for a family reunion? Are they going for a spring break, a birthday party? Let us know. Is it an anniversary, a vow renewal, a wedding? That will help us try to hone in on the best package for you and your client. Down here in the package type, you have several options. My suggestion is to contract the hotel only. That way you can use that option number 3 and add air on individually as it becomes available and as your clients know what air flights they want. If you want to contract, and you can do more than one package, you could go package type number 2. Maybe they want flight and charter air contracted. Remember, that's option 1 where you can get so many seats on the charter flights and you get commission for that. And then you also have the option for that contracting of scheduled air. No commission received there, but sometimes you have to do it to get the clients what they want. Enter the departure dates, the number of rooms. As a rule of thumb, deposit for this group contract will be due 10 days after you sign the contract, and it is roughly $50 per person, $100 per room. So in the case, I just typed in 30 rooms. If I'm trying to get 30 rooms, that's going to be a $3,000 deposit. That deposit you are going to apply to a reservation number, and once it is applied to that reservation number, we will be able to unlock your group's dashboard. Wonderful. All right. So give us about 48 hours or so, and we are going to provide you with a quote. And this is what the quote looks like. You can see, and I just want to advise you that these documents will be changing for the better in the coming months. So what I'm showing you now may look a little bit different when you actually get going with groups, but you're going to understand the process. So the process will seem similar. The cosmetic and the facelift of this document may look a little bit different. So this document was prepared by Mike for Clint from Ben's Travel. You can see the lead passengers are flying from Chesapeake Bay, Virginia, going to Cancun. We have a total number of passengers, 60, total number of rooms, 30. Remember from what I said before, that means the deposit's going to be roughly about $3,000. Now, the way we break up these contracted rates is we do it by room category, we do it by occupancy, and then also by the number of nights. So let's pretend like my wife and I want to go on this trip. We are going to stay in the oceanfront room. That's a double rate because there's 2 of us, and we only want to go 4 nights out of this group. So you can see here, $793.85 is the per person rate. So if the 2 of us went on this trip, $793.85 times 2, that is the starting rate for the hotel. And also, this includes transfers. Your quote will advise whether or not transfers are included in that per person price. If it is not noted, then it probably is not. All right, so keep all that in mind. Down here it says need flights. Well, hey, you guys are experts already because I told you how to add flights the 3 different ways. Click on this link and it'll take you right back to that page where you can read in detail. We have amenities that come along with booking a contracted group. We have something called comps, which is for every so many paid rooms or so many paid adults, you're going to get the price of one of those adults back, either in the form of commission if you choose, or you can give it back to the original form of payment. So those are the options that you have. It can be money on top of the commission you're already earning. Very lucrative, very awesome. Some other amenities that you can receive for your clients, free welcome baskets, fruit baskets, private check-ins, special wine parties, relaxing massages. It really just depends on the hotel that you are contracting with. That's going to determine what your clients will get in terms of amenities. So here's the more unsavory topic, and I just want to make sure you guys are aware, cancellations. If at any point you put money towards any airfare on your client's reservations that you build inside of the group's dashboard, within 24 hours, the airline is going to hold your clients accountable to any airline penalties put towards that air. That's just how airfare works with cancellations. With hotels, it's a little bit different. So once again, remember, deposit's $50 per person, roughly $100 per room. And that deposit is due 10 days after receiving the signed contract that we make after you approve the quote. We will build a contract. We'll give you instructions on how to sign that digitally, and then that's when we'll give you that ID number that you need to make the deposits to. The way that attrition works on this particular contract, it says 95 days plus, you cancel that group as a whole, there's no penalty. 94 to 65 days, which is 65 days is about the time that you would need to make your final payment. If the group cancels individually, so let's say there's individual cancellations, you are going to have a no penalty for a reduction in the group. But if the entire group cancels as a whole within that time range, the deposits are non-refundable. And this continues to get more severe with a one-night hotel penalty for a certain amount of your guests, 2-night hotel penalties for a certain amount of your guests, and then once you get to 34 days or less, all packages are non-refundable. All right, so you might be like, whoa, that's pretty severe. How do I prevent this from happening to my clients should they need to cancel? Well, you're going to want to get travel protection, and I advise this for anybody who is booking groups. Here's how it works, and here's what it's going to do for your client. We'll look at the example I gave before. My wife and I want to go on this trip for the wedding. 4 nights, we're going to include our airfare in this, so that's $89.99 per person for travel protection. So $89.99 times 2, that's going to be roughly, I think, $179.98. And at any point, if I cancel with travel protection on my reservation, this is the only amount of money that I will not receive back out of everything else that I pay. Okay, so let's put this into perspective. Let's pretend like I don't have travel protection. Many airlines have at least a $200 per person cancellation penalty. Once air is paid for and those clients are scheduled to travel, if they cancel, it's at least $200 per person. So if my wife and I canceled, that's at least $400 that we will not be receiving back out of the money we put towards our package. Let's say that I have a one-night hotel penalty because I cancel somewhere in the range of after my final payment. The hotel can decide what night they are going to charge you. And as you know, hotel rates are different depending on the day of the week and the month of the year and all that stuff. So we're just going to eyeball it and say it's about a $120 charge for the night. So that's $520 that the hotel and the airline are going to keep if your clients cancel. That's a lot of money for them to lose. But if you have the travel protection, remember, that was $179.98. Your clients will get $340 more back to their original form of payment if you purchase the travel protection. So you're really investing in their investment, making sure that they are protected. And then you as the travel agent, you are going to get up to 10% of the travel protection amount that was paid for each of those people. So $179.98 times 10%, you're going to get at least $17 of commission back to you, regardless of whether the clients travel or not. All right, so it protects you, and it also protects your client. Alrighty, so if you like this and you want a quote, or if you want a contract from this quote, you just contact the groups department, email the person who sent you the quote. Their hours are Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Central Time, and they will work on your contract over the next day or so. And from there, and I should say the next business day or so, from there you can see a contract. So let me pull this up off screen and then I will drag it on over. These contracts are in non-modifiable PDF formats, meaning this cannot be changed. When you scroll down here, you might be like, whoa, that's a lot of numbers and colors. It doesn't look exactly like my quote. Totally okay. It's still broken up the same way with a little bit extra information. They break it up into the room categories. They then tell you how many nights the clients can stay there, max in that room category. And then it tells you how many rooms you requested for each room category and what occupancy. So this travel agent wanted 10 rooms with double occupancy in the ocean view. They wanted 7 rooms with the junior suite ocean view and 3 rooms for that top room category in the oceanfront suite. Because it's double occupancy, it eyeballs how many people are going. A total of 20 rooms, that means that the deposit is going to be $2,000. Remember, it's $100 per room roughly for deposit. Now over here, it's going to break up your prices into the gross amount with your commission added and the net amount with your commission taken off. And you can see here, this is about $7,000 in commission. Once again, really profitable, really lucrative. You want to get the ball rolling on these groups, guys, because you're going to make a lot of money and your clients are going to have an awesome time going with a bunch of family and friends. When you're done, we're going to have a spot here where you can sign your signature digitally, and we have instructions that'll be attached to the email with your contract showing you how to do that. From here, you are then going to say, hey, I love this contract. You're going to sign it. We're going to give you the ID number for you to go and apply deposit payments, and that's when you can retrieve your group's dashboard. So what I can do here is I can click on Groups from underneath the yellow toolbar, and I can put my ID in here. I can also go to the main Groups travel page, and you'll see there is the Retrieve a Group button, and that'll bring you right back to this page. From here, I can put in my group ID, I can retrieve my group, and now your dashboard is unlocked, and this is your special platform for booking all of your reservations. You can see up here we have the title of the group. We have information for you to contact us. We have hotel details, information for us to contact you. And then from here, we have your dashboard booking engine. And here's how this is different from the normal booking engine. You can't mess this up because the hotel and the location is locked in. The days of departure have to match what your clients are going for as the entire group. If they want to stay a little bit before or a little bit after, you're going to need to contact your group's team, and they're going to help you add on those days for those individual reservations. So going down further, you can just book the reservation just like you would a normal booking, and once you create that booking, it's going to appear down here in your list of reservations. It'll say booked, and that means it's active, waiting for payment to lock in that price. Or I should say to lock in that package, because you've already contracted your prices for the hotel. The airfare, however, if you add it on individually, is going to fluctuate just like normal inventory. So I can either book a hotel-only package, or this is where I choose the package to add the air on individually. And somebody just asked, where's the recording of this webinar? I'll show you at the very end. So don't worry, Sharon, I will show you where this recording will be placed. So once you book the reservation, you'll notice it appears here. You'll also see in the payment transfer tab, this is where you can transfer money from that group, that parent reservation number where you made the deposit. You can transfer the money to the individual reservations that you begin to book. So this is going to be a very seamless and awesome process. If you want to take all the information for the reservations that you've booked and also maybe ones that you've canceled, scroll all the way down to the very bottom. You can see there's a lot of canceled reservations because we do a lot of practice webinars. But at the very bottom, there's a section that says Export to Excel. Click on this, and all the data that you see here is going to be sent into a Microsoft Excel document where you can then sort and organize and use that for your own bookkeeping purposes. Cool. So what are these other tabs? Well, we have an inventory tab that tells you a little bit about how many room nights you've got contracted for specific dates with these room categories for this group. It'll tell you what you've already sold and how many you have left. If you ever need to try to contract more rooms or additional room nights, contact your group's team. They're going to try to go back to the hotel and get you the best price possible for those additional rooms. Now scrolling down, if you contract charter, we also show the charter seats that you still have available to give out to clients. And one of our enhancements is that we are also going to be including a spot down here if you contract published scheduled air, so you can see what you've handed out to your clients as well. There's also a last tab here that is the commission tab, and it tells you how much commission you have on each reservation as you're moving through that process. Cool, so from here, let's actually hop into the reservation that I booked here. Before I do, notice there's a payment request link here. You can click on this, email it to your client, and they can pay money directly to this reservation using their credit card online. That link remains active for about 24 hours, and then after that you'll need to send your client another payment link for them to make additional payments. All right, clicking on that reservation number, you're going to see that it is pulling up that individual reservation that I booked. It's going to include the names of the passenger. It's going to include the flights that were chosen. It's going to include the hotel which you guys contracted, as well as the room category that person chose. And then also you can see I got the all-in-one travel protection. Now down here in the itinerary tools, you have options to continue to pay the rest of that deposit. If you had a hotel only, all you would have to do is just transfer that $100 from the parent reservation using the transfers tab to this other reservation, because the deposit due would be $100. Because I added airfare onto here, the deposit's a little bit more, so I'm going to need to not only transfer money from the parent reservation, I'll probably also need to make a payment for the additional deposit that goes towards the air portion in order for this reservation not to cancel by 6 p.m. Central Time on the 11th of July, which is today. Full payment due on the 25th of August for this particular reservation within the dashboard. Remember, all payments will be due for the group as a whole 65 days prior to travel with a contracted group. You can add as many payments as you want, multiple credit cards towards the same reservation. You can send in special service requests to the hotel letting them know, hey, I want this client to have a king bed. I want them to have a non-smoking room. Maybe it's their anniversary, birthday, or honeymoon while they are on this group's trip. And then lastly, you can put information that you want the hotel to know. Maybe they want a room near the elevator because somebody had surgery or something else to that nature. Modifications. This is where you would go if you wanted to upgrade the room category, if you wanted to add a rental car or a feature. You cannot change the air through this. You're going to need to call in to customer care and have them assist you with that is what I meant to say. You can copy these reservations, pretty much the structure and the guts of a reservation you've already made. If you have a lot of people that have the same type of reservation, so you don't have to enter everything in, click copy reservation, modify how many people might be there, and then move forward to make that next booking on your group's dashboard. You can also click on cancel and cancel this reservation. Just make sure you know what your clients will have in cancellation penalty when you click that cancel button. I know that they're going to get back everything else other than the travel protection here, because that's how all-in-one travel protection works. And you can always request that refund after you've canceled by going up here to request a refund. You can email individual itineraries, you can check out your commission and booking administration, and then if you want to get back to your group's dashboard from an individual reservation, click on the link titled Funjet Groups Are Great, or whatever your group is called. It's up in the price tag, and that will take you right back to the group's dashboard. So guys, that is my presentation on contracted groups. Enter any questions into the chat or the Q&A section. While you guys are typing out questions, I do want to show you where this webinar recording will be placed. You are going to go sign into Vax Vacation Access, and I'll try to do this slowly so you can kind of follow along. Sign into Vax Vacation Access, hover over the supplier section, and then click on Vacation Packages. Once you're in the Vacation Packages section, you will see all the different suppliers that sell their packages inside of Vax Vacation Access. We have a special section here, being Mark Travel, called the Mark Travel Corporation. When you click on that, it takes you to our showcase where we talk about all of our brands. We talk about some of our programs. And in this gray section here, there is what is called the webinar calendar. Click on the webinar calendar and it's going to open up a calendar of events. These are all the events that we have during the month of July and any future months. You can see that any presentation that is a Mark Travel specific webinar is the color blue, and anything that is VAX specific, which could include Mark Travel, but it includes all the other suppliers that happen to sell their packages on VAX, that is going to be the color orange. Today's presentation is titled Getting Started with Groups by Funjet. If you double click on that, you'll notice that right now the registration link is here. But after I'm done with this presentation, I'm going to include this video, and instead of saying click here to register, you're going to see the link that says click here to watch the video recording. So it's as simple as that. If you want to join any other presentations throughout the month, all you got to do, for example, if I wanted to join the exciting updates on Playa Hotels and Resorts, I could double click on that particular event and then register. You're going to receive an email one day before and about 30 minutes before each presentation that you register for, so you can hop on the webinar and you're going to be able to watch it. Now, anything that has a video recording of a past webinar, you are going to see it says on demand, and it has those maroon slash marks through it. So that's how you know if the recording has been added. So once again, guys, thank you for joining. I'm going to end this recording, but if you have any questions, you can always email implementation@marktravel.com. Here's the email address right here. This is the email address for my team. I'm going to blow that up so it looks a little bit bigger so you guys cannot miss it. And I will be free right now to answer any questions.